What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This is the $1 million question. I play really good in practice, or I play really good when I'm playing against my friends, people I'm comfortable and familiar with. But in a game situation, or a tryout, or playing against people whom I'm not familiar with or not my friends, I don't perform at the same level. I don't have the same amount of confidence. I don't make shots the same rate. I don't get the ball as much. I don't seem to have as much influence on the game. Why is that happening? What is my problem? What can I do to fix this? I'm going to resolve this right now.
DreAllDay.com.
So I don't even need to go into the fact that there's a difference between what you do in practice and what you do in the game. I'm sure all of you have heard people have said some things before, like how you practice is how you play. And in a way that's true, but in a way is not true. Because when you practice, and we're talking about practicing with your team, or practicing as in playing with your friends, or practicing when you're playing by yourself or you're dribbling around some trash cans or orange cones or something, that's not the same as a game situation, is it? And all of you who have done a lot of practicing and played a lot of games, you know that it damn sure is not the same. Because a chair and a cone is not going to react like somebody who's playing defense. When you jump for a shot, a chair is not going to try to block it. A person is. And when you try to dribble, a person might try to steal the ball from you. A cone ain't going to steal the ball from you. A game situation can only be practiced for so much. When you're practicing, I say this a lot of times in all the drills I do when I do the voiceovers. When you practice by yourself on the court, you're developing your skills. So what you do when you practice is you develop skills. You're adding tools to your toolbox. And all of you have seen a toolbox before, right? You open it up, there's a wrench, there's a screwdriver, there's a hammer, maybe some nails, maybe some electrical tape, you got drill bits, you might have a power screwdriver or something like that, and there's a whole bunch of different tools. So no matter what is going on around the house, if something needs to be fixed, there's a tool in that toolbox that can fix it, right? In a game situation, that's like having a house. Playing in games is like owning a house. You have no idea. You know something eventually is going to go wrong in that house and you're going to have to fix it. But what you don't know is which tool you're going to need and how much you're going to need to use that tool. That's the game situation. The question for all of you is, do you even have the tool in your box? That's the first thing you got to ask yourself. So let's say you practice all the time, but you never practice shooting a wide open jump shot from the corner. And then you get in the game, you get a wide open jump shot from the corner and you just shoot air balls, or it's not even close to going in because you never practiced it. You didn't put the tool in the toolbox. First thing you had to do is make sure you have a full toolbox. A full toolbox means whatever game situation happens, whatever goes wrong in the house, you have a tool that could potentially fix it. So if you have a house and a nail is loose and the nail needs to be hammered back in, you got to make sure there's a hammer in your toolbox. I.e., if you get the ball and the ball needs to be dribbled from point A to point B without turning it over, you need to have the ball handling skills to get from there to there with a defender on you without turning the ball over. That's a tool. You can develop that tool by practicing. So once you develop all your tools, you got all the tools you need in your toolbox. So let's say you went over every video that I ever put out and you did every single drill and you mastered all the skills. So you got all the tools you need in your toolbox. That does not guarantee that you're going to be able to fix any problem in the house. It just means you got the tools to fix any problem in the house. And here's the crux of the issue that a lot of people come to me with. They got the tools, seemingly, or at least they believe they do, which is a first step to it. You do actually have to have them, but believing in it is important. But when they get in the game, they can't seem to use the right tool at the right time in the right way. What is the problem? How do we resolve this? Let's get into that. If you want to get better at performing in the games, using all those tools in your toolbox, we're assuming that you got all the tools in the toolbox now. Because you can get that on your own. You don't need anybody to help you to get the tools in the toolbox. Once you have the tools, you can use my drills, you can use the hoophandbook.com. Once you have all the tools in your toolbox, in order to utilize those tools at the time that's necessary, you need practice using the tools. This means you need to get in game situations. The exact situations where you're finding yourself having the inability to perform, you need to keep putting yourself in that situation over and over and over again, forcing yourself to get more comfortable with it, forcing yourself to perform when it's necessary. That is the only way you're going to get there. You can't think your way to being comfortable in a situation in which you have no experience. You can't watch your way to being comfortable in a situation in which you have no experience. You can't talk your way there. You can't read your way there. You can't YouTube video your way there. You have to get in those game situations and prove yourself worthy in the game situations, which means, this is what it means. These are the things that I got to tell you. I had a friend once when I was in Mexico, my friend G, he used to always say, whenever I used to hear him telling other players, like, yo, there's an opportunity maybe down here for you to come play, he would tell them all the positives, and then he'd say, hold on, I gotta tell you everything. Let me tell you all the things that might be negative too. So I don't want you to come back to me later and be like, you ain't tell me that, G. So I gotta tell you what all the negatives are when you put yourself in that situation, that uncomfortable situation, over and over again. Here's the number one thing. You're gonna get embarrassed. You might try a crossover or try to do some move or try to guard somebody who can play and just get completely embarrassed. You might get the ball stolen from you, get your shot blocked, get dunked on, get crossed over, get 30 points scored on you, have some people in the crowd who you don't even know laughing at you and talking about you. That's going to happen. If you keep putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, you're going to look bad a few times. So be ready for that. And mind you, each one of these things I named, a large percentage of people who are also in your boat are going to rather just quit than put themselves in these situations to get through to the end where they feel like where they'll be able to actually perform at the level they want to perform at. So understand that each one of these that you're able to do and endure and get through, you're eliminating a whole lot of your competition in the process. So number one, you're going to look bad. You're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to get embarrassed. Number two is going to be uncomfortable. You're going to try something. You're going to try something at a level where you have to think about it, where you're going to come down the court. I say all the time, the only way to really be able to do a lot of these moves is to do them instinctively without thinking about it, right? The only way you get there is by first thinking about it. First, you got to think about it. Okay, let me do this left to right crossover. You'll never get to doing a left to right crossover in the game until you do it. And to do it the first time is not going to be an instinct because you haven't done it before. So you got to think about it. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be kind of clunky. You're going to be feeling like you moving at 2 miles per hour while everybody else is going 10 miles per hour. You're going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to feel normal. You're going to have to think about it. And even when you think about it and it seems like the situation is all perfect, it's still not going to go right. So it's going to be, you're going to get your ass kicked, you're going to get embarrassed, and you're going to feel uncomfortable. Third thing is you're going to have to keep doing it over and over and over again for an extended period of time in order to get comfortable with it. Which means the first time you think about doing a left to right crossover and try it, it might work, it might not. And even if it does work, the next time you try it, somebody's going to steal it from you. And the next time somebody's going to laugh at you. The next time somebody's going to make fun of your crossover. And the next time your coach is going to pull you out the game. And the next time you're going to dribble the ball off your foot out of bounds, and people are going to be like, what the hell are you doing, and laugh at you. Every time you're getting better, you're gaining that experience. So these three things, it's not going to work every time. It's going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to get embarrassed. You're going to get laughed at. You're going to look bad. If you're okay with all three of those things and you're able to endure through all three, by the time you get through all three, not only will you be performing in games the same way you perform in practice with the same level of confidence and comfort and being able to do things seamlessly and without thinking about them, you won't have much competition because most people don't want to go through those uncomfortable stages. Discomfort causes more people to quit than fail. Very few people have ever died of discomfort. People don't die of being uncomfortable. You know what people do die from? Being comfortable. Comfortable means staying in your comfort zone. Y'all familiar with the phrase comfort zone, right? You familiar with the idea of the comfort zone? That means only doing the things you're already good and competent at. If you want to get better, you want to improve your position in life, whether we talking about playing basketball, whether we talking about business, your social standing, your money, whatever it is, you're going to have to do something that's a little bit uncomfortable. Most people will die from comfort. This means staying where they are, becoming stagnant, not growing, not moving. Anything that's not growing or moving is dead. Nobody died from discomfort. Discomfort makes people grow, because when you're in an uncomfortable situation, you got two choices. Either A, you can run and go back with your tail between your legs back to the comfort zone and die eventually. You die every single day, but eventually you're going to die one final time. Or you're going to grow to meet that challenge, and now it becomes part of your comfort zone. And once you've made a habit out of destroying that discomfort and making it part of your comfort zone, expanding by demand, guess what? You're going to automatically want to go somewhere else and be uncomfortable again. Deal with that discomfort again so you can grow even more. It becomes a habit. It becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that's how you get from not performing in the games the way you do in practice to performing in games the way you do in practice. And I know you're not going to be able to memorize every single thing I say here in this video. So what you need to do is favorite this video, put it on your phone, whatever way you need to. You need to listen to this over and over and over again to the point where you memorize what I said. You're going to be finishing my sentences. That's the way you're going to internalize things. You don't need to memorize what I say. Memorizing something doesn't make you start living like it. Memorizing things just means you know the words. Like you listen to a song over and over again, and then you can sing along to the song, or you can even sing the song without the song playing. You memorized it. To internalize something means it becomes part of you where you don't even have to think about it. That's what you would do with this content. With this information, you need to internalize it. Listen to it over and over and over again till it seeps into you, till you understand it. And then when you go live it, you'll know it to the point where you could teach this to somebody else. You won't even have to hear it from me. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here, and make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.